What's up, guys? Welcome back. Playing some Vortex here. This is the only boss arena that I have not yet made a video about, and it's probably my second favorite. I know I said that a couple times, but really like the Bloon Cave. Listopolis is okay, and Blast Upopolis, I think is how it's said. I just don't like Bloonarius, but that's okay. Probably just because it's shorter, I think, or just harder to defend on. So, I'm playing a pretty good guy here. He has 80-something win percent, and a bunch of medallions, so solid player. I'm gonna play pretty defensive here, but also very greedy, which is my style. As I just said, defensive now, I just sent him a yellow rush, but that's kind of part of my defense, is just keep the opponent on their heels early on in the first few rounds. Try to get a little bit of advantage on eco, make them boost maybe a couple times. Just give myself a little bit of advantage come late game. So he's sending me some zebras, trying to get me to upgrade or build some defense, use a boost, something like that, and he does. He gets me to build the reactor. I sent him a zebra rush, and it was such a great rush that he built a farm. So, yeah. Well done by me. I'm impressed. Yeah, all told, this footage was like 30 minutes long. Maybe even a little bit more than that. So I split it up a fair amount. Probably three times. Well, yeah, just over 3 times. So, hopefully it's not too bad to watch. I've done that the last couple videos. I'm not sure how people will like that. Mainly, to be honest, it's just because I cannot commentate for 20 minutes. I could just tell random stories about stuff that no one wants to hear, but that's not terribly interesting. I could also do music at the end of the video, but that's, I don't know, I don't like that necessarily as much, so I'll see. Especially for these longer videos, I think it's not too bad to just see it sped up a bit. But you can leave your comments whether you like this or you don't. I'll take your advice, and I'll, maybe change it considering, depending on what you say. So it's round 25. We've both been pretty greedy. I've been a little bit more greedy than him, so I've got a little bit of advantage in farms and in eco. But I think we're both kind of prepping. He's got a couple chippers down there at the bottom in case I rush him. And I've started building dart monkeys up at the top, which will all be turned into juggernauts in order to defend any sort of rush that he sends at me. Mainly Moabs. Moabs are BFBs. Actually, Moabs at this point probably wouldn't do anything. I would just get up a Super Monkey fan club and defend it pretty easily. But right here, I can tell he sent me something, obviously boosted there. Sends me a bunch of ZOMGs, and so I'm going to go ahead and get all these juggernauts up, because I don't want to get taken out by some sort of silly leak. So, just going to get all those up before I do any sort of re-rush. And he has sent me so many ZOMGs, because basically at this point he can send me as many as he wants. He's got 4 factories. Might have actually sold one to send this rush, I'm not sure. Just for reference, that's not necessarily a great idea, this late in the game. But, upgrading some snipers here. I accidentally upgraded the first one the wrong way, I think. Or maybe I was just doing that to defend anything that just got really close to the end. I'm not sure. But I'm just trying to do this so that I can slow some of the ZOMGs, because he's got the chipper, so he's going to be able to stall like crazy. That's basically the purpose of the chipper. It can do decent damage. It pops Moabs pretty easily, but they're really good at stalling. And unfortunately, he didn't have very much popping power, so all his towers were distracted by those ZOMGs. Most of them were, and some balloons leaked through, and I was able to get that victory kind of prematurely. In some senses, it was round 30 or something, so not necessarily that early, but earlier than I would have expected. So, surprise, surprise, playing another guy, Dart Farm. Sending some pinks, getting him into boost. He's gonna send some pinks back at me. Gets me an upgrade. He doesn't keep on sending, so I'm able to be a little bit more greedy and only upgrade one of the Dart Monkeys to the triple Dart Monkey. So that's kind of redundant, but anyway. So we're both able to be pretty greedy. I could have sent him some sort of yellow rush here, round 9, but I didn't really feel like doing that. I was kind of feeling more greedy, wanted to maybe just get a bit more of an advantage on farms. He sells and gets that reactor. I'm super greedy, and I don't. You can see that if he sends me any sort of zero rush, I'm going to have to do something and probably would have had to sell my factory. But he doesn't, whether he's not paying attention or he just decides not to. Does send me one ceramic, but that's not going to do much. So I defend that, obviously, and just going to go crazy on these farms here. This is a pretty good map for farms. I think you can fit 6 on both sides, I'm pretty sure. So just going to keep on building until he makes me do something else, which is my motto, basically. Play as little defense, or put as little towers down as you can, build as many farms as you can, until your opponent makes you play defense. So, round 21, this is a ridiculous amount of farms for round 22, and he sells his, which is, in almost every situation, a bad idea. If he just keeps them, he's going to be able to keep on sending BFBs. He might not be able to send quite as many right away, but I don't really agree with just going all in around 22. Some people tend to do that, like to do that, but really, I would have probably re-rushed him with some BFBs and Moabs there if I didn't have the Ice Tower, but I did, so I decided to play defense. He's shaking his head at me, but in a couple seconds here, I'm going to be shaking my head at him. Not literally, but yeah. So I'm just getting a bunch of jugs up in the back there, just kind of spamming them all over, because I still have 2 factories, because I sold a couple just to make sure I had enough money. I boost there just for fun, just to make sure I don't do anything silly and leak a couple balloons. But I've got about 20 jugs up right now, and that's going to be able to handle quite a few things. So right now I could have sent some BFBs, but I was just wanting to wait a couple rounds here. He is absolutely no threat to me. I have so many juggernauts that I'm not going to lose to any rush that he sends me, or at least that he can afford right now. Even if he sends me ZOMGs, I will be able to easily just pop up the subs ability and take those out. But he's pretty much broke right now. So, wait a couple rounds, send some BFBs. He has $8,000, enough to get that Super Monkey Fan Club. He sells his reactor, and he sends me a ZOMG and a Moab. Not quite enough to take me out. But that was a fun game. Sent me a nice rush there. Was able to defend it with a little bit of luck with my nice ice tower that I got, luckily. So, if you enjoyed that, hope you come back sometime. Whether that means subscribing or not, whatever. Hope to see you soon.